from concept application exercise 1 from electrostatics chapter. We can go through the first question number 4. See the question. In the return stroke of a typical lightning bolt, the current of 2.5 into 10 power 4 ampere exists for 20 microseconds. How much charge is transferred in this event? So it was given here some current is existed. The current I is nothing but, I will just write down the values in the next case. Current I is given. Here current I is given 2.5 into 10 power 4 ampere and it is for 20 microseconds. That means the time taken is 20 microseconds. So we can write it as 20 into 10 power minus 6 seconds. And they are asking us to calculate how much charge is transferred. So the charge transferred is nothing but current into time. Charge is equal to current into time. If you substitute the given values, 2.5 into 10 power 4 into 20 into 10 power minus 6. And finally, this will be 20 into 2.5, which is equal to 50 into 10 power 4 into 10 power minus 6, that is 10 power minus 2. And this is equal to 0.5. And the unit for charge is coulomb. So the answer here is 0.5 coulomb. And next question number 5. Question number 5. How many megacoulombs of positive charge are in 1 mole of neutral molecular hydrogen gas? In a neutral molecular hydrogen gas H2 was given, and they are asking us how many megacoulombs of positive charge is there. That means in every molecular atom, in every atom especially, there are both positive and negative charges. Positive charges are protons and negative charges are electrons only. And you have to calculate here how many protons are there in the given amount of gas. And then you can easily calculate how much charge is there. So first of all, to calculate how many protons are there. So it is given the amount of gas is 1 mole of hydrogen gas. So 1 mole of hydrogen gas means how many molecules are there in 1 mole of gas? 1 mole of H2 gas contains how many molecules? That is nothing but Avogadro number. That is 6.023, but simply you can write 6 into 10 power 23 molecules. And in each molecule, how many protons are there? It is given H2 na? In 1 hydrogen atom there will be 1 proton. H2 means it contains, the molecule contains 2 atoms, so that it contains 2 protons. So in each molecule there will be 2 protons. That means these many number of molecules are there, and in each molecule there are 2 protons. So total number of protons, if you want to calculate, total number of protons is nothing but 2 into 6 into 10 power 23, and that will be 12 into 10 power 23. And but they're asking us not number of protons, they're asking us to calculate total charge only. Total charge is equal to total number of protons into charge of each proton. Total number of protons is given 12 into 10 power 23 into the charge of each proton. All of us know that that is 1.6 into 10 power minus 90. By multiplying these two, we just get here 19.2 into 10 power 4 only. But they're asking us to calculate in mega coulomb. That means it should be in 10 power 6 only. To write in 10 power 6, you can write here 0.192 into 10 power 6 coulomb. And in terms of mega coulomb only they're asking me. So it will be 0.192 mega coulomb. This is the answer for total amount of charge in the given 1 mole of hydrogen gas. Just to repeat that, 1 mole of H2 gas is given. It contains everywhere in 1 mole. And also we have law here in heat mechanics. What is the law? At same equal pressure, volume, and temperature, all the gases contain same number of molecules. In the same way, whatever may be the pressure, volume, and temperature. So in 1 mole, always there are Avogadro number of molecules, which is equal to 6 into 10 power 20. And how many protons are there in each molecule? There are 2 protons. And total number of protons is 12 into 10 power 23. And just we calculated the total charge by multiplying with charge of each proton. Next. Question number 6 only. Read the question. Calculate the number of coulombs of positive charge in 250 centimeter cube of water. In 250 centimeter cube of water, they are asking us to calculate total positive charge. Now, so what is the amount of water given? Volume of water. Volume of water given, it is 250 centimeter cube. And to calculate the total charge, we have to calculate the number of protons. To calculate the number of protons, you have to calculate number of molecules. In that way, first you have to calculate in 250 centimeter cube how many number of molecules are there. Then you can easily calculate the total charge there. So first of all, we better convert into mass of the water, mass of given water, mass of given water. And what is the mass? Mass is nothing but density into value. Density of water, all of us know that 1 gram per centimeter cube is the density of water. Into here the volume given is 250 centimeter cube. And finally, centimeter cube and centimeter cube will get cancelled. Only you will have 250 grams. That is the mass of given water. Okay. And what is the molecular mass of water? Molecular mass of water, that is nothing but H2O. So for oxygen, the molecular mass is 16, and for each hydrogen it is 1. For 2 hydrogen it is 2. So that 1 plus 1 plus 16, total it is 18 grams. And now the given 250 grams of water, how many moles are there? The number of moles is nothing but total mass by molecular mass. That is 250 gram by 18 gram. So this is the value for number of moles. Now, to calculate number of molecules, to calculate total number of molecules, in each mole, how many moles are there? 250 by 18 number of moles. And in each mole, there are Avogadro number of charge, Avogadro number of molecules. That means Avogadro number you have to write 6 into 10 power 23. This is the value for total number of molecules. And now, in each molecule, how many number of protons are there? In H2O, how many protons are there? In oxygen, there are 8 protons. In each hydrogen, there is 1 proton. So 8 plus 1 plus 1. In each molecule, there are 10 protons. And how many molecules are there? This many number of molecules are there. Now, we'll just erase this information and we'll go to the next part only. So, total number of protons if you want to calculate. Total number of protons. That is nothing but 250 by 18 into 6 into 10 power 23. These many molecules are there, and in each molecule there are 10 protons. And finally, you have to calculate total charge only. No? So if these many number of protons are there, and if each proton is having charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, then total charge is the product of this total number of protons into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. And finally, this particular value will be 133.33 into 10 power 5. And finally, we can write according to the options given 1.33 into 10 power 7 coulomb. Okay, and if you want to write in mega coulomb, in that case 13.3 mega coulomb. Why? Because mega in the sense it is this is the answer for question number 7. Now, question number, there is the answer for question number 6 only. For question number 7. Electrons and positrons are produced by the nuclear transformations of protons and neutrons known as beta decay. The beta decay, the concept where we already learned in the concept nucleus. Okay? There it was given that the first question. If a proton transforms into a neutron in beta decay, either proton has to transform into neutron or neutron has to transform into proton. The first question they are asking, if a proton transforms into neutron, is an electron or positron produced? So when proton transforms into neutron, that means, what is the symbol for proton? We can write here. Proton means single hydrogen atom, we can write 1H1. If it converts into neutron, neutron means neutron number does not influence the atomic number, but it influences the atomic mass number. Plus, to balance this equation, one positron will be released, whose charge is positive and whose mass is equal to mass of electron. That is positive electron, which is normally said to be positron, and of course neutrino also will be released. So in this particular case, when proton converts into neutron, which will be released? Positron will be released. And according to the second question, they are asking when neutron converts into proton, then one electron is released. That means which is having negative charge minus E and whose mass is equal to electron. And along with them, some antineutrino also will be released. In this particular case, electron is released. So according to the given question, the answers are when proton converts into neutron, positron will be released. And when neutron converts into proton, electron will be released. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 7. Now question number 8. The figure shows 4 identical conducting spheres that are actually well separated from one another. Sphere W with initial charge of minus 32 E, and it was given that sphere W is having the charge minus 32 E, and then they are separated. Finally, sphere W is touched to sphere C. And of course, some more information is there in the question. So that information also you have to write here. I like to see your material only for this particular question. I will just explain here the question. In the question, 4 bodies were taken. The first body is A. Whose charge we don't know. Let me consider the charge is X only. And other bodies were named as B, C, and W. And the charge of B was given minus 32 E, and the charge of C was given plus 48 E, and the charge of W is neutral initially. That means the charge on the W is 0. And all the bodies are identical bodies. It was given here that some 3 cases. In first case, the body W is kept in contact with body A. When both are kept in contact, what will happen? One is charged body and other one is uncharged body. When both are kept in contact, both of them will share equally the total charge. What is the total charge? I considered here the charge is X and here the charge was given 0. So the total charge will be X plus 0, and then what is the charge of W? The total charge will be shared equally between A and W. That means the charge remain on W is only X by 2. And in second case, now what is the charge of W? X by 2. This body W is kept in contact with B. Then again B and W will share the charges equally. What is the total charge? Now when they are kept in contact, X by 2 minus 32E. And that charge is given only half of the charge to W. So this is the final charge after removing from B. And this is again kept in contact with C. In that case, so this charge should be added to charge of C, and the total charge is equally shared between them. So for W, the charge is X by 2 minus 32E by 2 plus, what is the charge of C? 48E. This total charge is equally shared. And this is the final charge of W. And in the question it is given that this final charge of W after removing from C, that is given 18E. It is equal to 18E. Now you have to solve the value, so solve this equation for X only. So 2 will go to the right side and 36E it will be, and by taking LCM here and by solving this equation, finally you will get an answer for X that is equal to 16E. Hence, we can conclude here that the charge on the body A initially was 16E. That is the answer for the question number 8. Next. Question number 9 only. See the question number 9. A charged non-conducting rod with a length 2 meters and a cross-section area of 4 centimeters square. So here length is given, length of the rod is given, area of cross-section is given. It lies along the positive side of an x-axis. This is x-axis with one end at the origin. So first of all, we can draw a diagram for the given information. The volume of charge density, rho, is charge per unit volume. This is nothing but charge per unit volume in coulombs per cubic meter, of course, coulomb per cubic meter. How many excess electrons are on the rod if rho is uniform with value of something given? So initially when the rod is neutral, dimensions of the rod was given, length and area, and the charge density is uniform in the first case, and how much charge was accumulated on that was also given. And finally, they are asking us to calculate how many excess electrons are to be given to the rod to give a charge of -4 microcoulomb per meter cube. So now we can solve this particular question. First of all, given information we can write here. What is length of the rod? Length of the rod is given 2 meters. And area of cross section given 4 centimeters square. Of course, we can write in SI units, that is 4 into 10 power minus 4 meters square. And what is the volume then? Volume is nothing but area into length. By multiplying the above two, finally you will get 8 into 10 power minus 4 meter cube. That is the volume of the given rod. And the charge density is given rho. Rho is nothing but charge by volume. Total charge, amount of charge, Q or dQ, or total volume dV. Q by V you can write, or dQ by dV you can write. Okay, now see here the first question. What is the excess charge given? The excess charge given, total charge accumulated on that is -4 microcoulomb per meter cube. So this is nothing but -4 micro in the sense 10 power minus 6 coulomb per meter cube. This is the charge only per meter cube. But what is the total charge? Total charge on the rod. Total charge on the rod means, so per meter cube it is -4 into 10 power minus 6 into, this minus indicates only the negative charge, into total volume, how much? 8 into 10 power minus 4. And now the total charge is 4 into 8, 32 into 10 power minus 2, which indicates just negative charge, that is electron charge. If this is the total charge, in this amount of total charge, how many electrons are there? That you have to calculate. We have a simple formula according to quantization of charge. Total charge is nothing but N into E, where N equal to total charge by, that means number of electrons is equal to total charge by charge of each electron. What is the total charge? 32 into 10 power minus 10 by the charge of each electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, which is equal to 20 into 10 power 9. 20 into 10 power 9. That many number of electrons are given to the rod to give it a charge -4 microcoulomb per meter cube. So simply you can write 2 into 10 power 10 also. This many number of electrons were. Okay, so this is answer to the first question given. And now we can go through the second question. Second question in the same question. So the second part of the question is it is non-uniform. The distribution is non-uniform with the value given by, and density is not uniform. The density is given V into X square. In that case, in the charge, so in that particular density, they are asking us to calculate again the excess number of electrons. See here. What is the formula for density in general? Rho is nothing but dq by dv. Since it is not non-uniform, we can write like this. What is dq then? Rho dv. And finally, you have to calculate number of electrons with charge, total charge you have to calculate. By taking integration on both sides, integral dq equal to integral rho dv. integral dq is q only, total charge. Integral rho means it was given the equation for rho is bx square. And also for the small element of volume, you can write area into dx. Area of cross section is a and small element of length is dx. In this case, b is constant, area is constant, and the remaining is integral x square dx. Now, a is equal to, total charge q is equal to, first the value of b. The value of b is given 2 microcoulomb, which is given 2 microcoulomb in the sense 2 into 10 power minus 6 into area given 4 into 10 power minus 4. It is the information given from the question. Into integral x square is nothing but x cube by 3. Of course, the length is from 0 to final length. Final length is, what is the length of the rod? 2 meters, no? It is 2. Okay. Now, 2 into 4, 8 into 10 power minus 10. Of course, by 3 you can write here. And in place of x, if you substitute upper and lower limits, you will get 2 cube minus 0, that is 8 only. This is equal to 64 by 3 into 10 power minus 10. So this is the total charge. For this total charge, we have to calculate how many number of electrons are added. So again, total charge is nothing but according to quantization plus or minus NE. To calculate the number of electrons to be added, that is Q by E. The total charge is 64 by 3 into 10 power minus 10 by charge of electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. By solving this, finally you will get here, that is 13.3 into 10 power 9. And according to the options given, we can convert it in as 1.33 into 10 power 10 number of electrons. That many number of electrons have to be added. This is the solution for second part of the question number 9. Okay. Now, question number 10. What is the total charge in coulombs of 72 kg of electrons? If the total mass of electrons is 72 kg, and of course mass of each electron we know that, then what is the total charge they are asking? Okay. First of all, you have to calculate how many number of electrons. Total mass of electrons is nothing but number of electrons into mass of each electron. So total mass is given 72 kg and number of electrons we don't know here, and mass of each electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Now n becomes 72 by 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. By solving this, you will get the number here that nearly 8 only, that is 7.9 into 10 power 31 number of electrons will be there. But they're asking us to calculate total charge only. No? If these many number of electrons are there, then charge is nothing but Ne. So Ne is 7.9 into 10 power 31 into charge of each electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. By multiplying these two, we get the answer here 1.26 into 10 power 13 coulomb. So that is the total charge of 72 kg of electrons. Okay, next. Question number 11. And of course, the last question in the concept application of this is 1 only. A 100 watt lamp has a steady current 0.8 amperes. units per minute. How long is required for 1 mole of electrons to pass through the lamp? So current given is 0.8 amperes. Ampere is nothing but coulomb per second. In 1 second, 0.8 coulombs of charge is passing. Okay, that means number of electrons, how many they pass, we can calculate. Based on that, finally you have to calculate how 1 mole of electrons have to pass. See here. First point is about current given. Current given is 0.8 ampere, that is nothing but 0.8 coulomb per second. In 1 second, 0.8 coulomb charge is passing. 0.8 coulomb means how many electrons are there? How to calculate? In 0.8 coulomb, to calculate number of electrons, that is equal to Ne, where N equal to 0.8 by E, which is equal to 0.8 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. This is 1 by 2, that is 0.5. So it is simply 0.5 into 10 power 19. That many number of electrons are going for 1 second. But you have to send here 1 mole of electrons. Okay. So 1 mole of electrons in the sense, how many? 1 mole of electrons in the sense it is nothing but 6.023 into 10 power 23 electrons. To pass that many number of electrons, how much time is required? 1 second, 0.5 into 10 power 19 electrons are passing. In how many seconds? 6 into 10 power 23 electrons are passing. To calculate time, that is nothing but 6 into 10 power 23 electrons have to pass. This is for that many number of electrons per second. So divide, you can write divided by 0.5 into 10 power 19. And finally, this is equal to 1,20,000 seconds. If you convert it into days, to convert into days, you have to divide with 86,400 seconds. Then finally you will get the answer nearly 1.38 days. Okay, so to pass that many number of electrons, 1 mole of electrons, it will take 1.38 days. Okay, thank you.